Bah humbug.
Yeah, we got old man Pete. Old man Pete in the building.
You kids get off my lawn.
You kids get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Get out of here. Hey, bro. Hey, the one thing I love it, man, because I don't know, man. I just think that I like that how shit got unclear yesterday with the Liam Cohen, all of that shit. You know what I mean? And I was kind of telling people to relax. You know what I mean? But you know how Raider fans are. They're going to. I mean, and very well so. You know what I mean? I mean, the Raiders have done us that move fucking for years now. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I just thought like with there was no way Spytek was gonna clear out, and then right after that he signs, and then I was telling people too, you know what I mean, if it does happen, it's going to happen probably tomorrow and stuff like that. And Pete Carroll, man, I was in Loon's chat yesterday too, man, just telling people, you know what I mean, like just, you know, I just heard it from I wouldn't say, I'm not gonna say sources because you know you hate that shit. You know what I mean? I just heard it from somebody. You know what I mean? That you know it was very, very close to being done, and the news should have came out. The news will most likely come out tomorrow, but I wasn't gonna say that because I don't want to look stupid. But I was like, I just heard it from somebody. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
now that it's done, I guess I could trust that person a little bit more too. You know? So it's like, but yeah, it's cool to see, man. It's good to see that he's in the building. We got our GM. Now we got our coach. I mean, it actually happened, you know what I mean, the way it should happen, you know what I mean? And here we are, man. Let's brag in.
What up?
Yeah,
I want to see his eyes. See if he has any liver spots. Nah, man. You know, even though I talk a lot of shit, you know what I mean, because there's a lot of been uncertainty and everything like that. If you really look at the history of the Raiders, bro, we've always done kind of similar things. But, you know, one of the biggest changes that I would say that the organization has seen in a long time was with the whole Del Rio thing. We brought in Reggie McKenzie, which was, I think he was a first-time GM. I'm not necessarily too sure on that, but I know he was dealing with, you know, Green Bay and how they had everybody, and he was a part of that. And then Del Rio came in and made a change. You know what I mean? We had some positive, like, you know, traction and stuff like that. This right here is a lot different. As far as the first move of a GM and what he's doing as far as bringing Pete Carroll in, I think it's smart. I think it's safe, even though I am giving it shit because he is 73 years old, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's the biggest thing for me, you know what I mean? Now, his talent and what he can do and what he's done over decades in football is unmatched. I mean, well, there's other people. You got people like, you know, Belichick, whatever, whatnot. But Pete Carroll is one of those guys that has always been effective. He, I'm a little, how would you say, conflicted because you go back to the Super Bowl and you see how fucking, how Marchand talked about him, about the whole situation. But the team that he did have was a good fucking team. He had three good running backs. He had Turbin, he had Lynch, and he had what's his name that Lynch does the podcast with. So I see that. The defense wasn't the defense coordinator, what's the name? That was our defensive coordinator at one point?
Yeah, Gus
Bradley, yeah. So
that's the reason why there's news about because Salah is the main guy, right? I mean, not the main guy, but that was the first news that came out that, you know, he would not likely, but like there's a possibility of him joining, you know, Pete Carroll's staff as the defensive coordinator. But there's also a lot of people saying that it could be Gus Bradley again, man. It could be Gus Bradley. It could be and Darrell Bevel as the offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? So
Bevel is from where? I read it.
Darrell Bevel is the quarterback's coach at Miami right now.
Oh, okay.
But he was the former offensive coordinator in Seattle.
Okay, so Pete Carroll's a defensive guy, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So now we got a defensive head coach, offensive-minded GM. Now we got to find that third piece. Regardless of whatever, because that, you know, and then
third and fourth. defense and offensive coordinator. You know what I mean?
I'm not
those are going to be.
That's
the reason why. Remember, that's the reason why yesterday I was saying I wanted Pete the most, because I think he could bring the best staff with him. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see, man, for sure.
Yeah, he does have. How do you say it, man? He does have. I don't know, man. Like I think Pete's pretty dope, bro. I give him his props. I just think he's too old, dog. That's just me. I'm sorry to say it.
I mean, hey, that's a good. I mean, obviously that's something to look at for sure, because he is going to be the oldest coach in the league. You know what I mean? He is that is the truth. You know what I mean? The only thing I will say to people is that, like, the age is cool and all that shit. I mean, the age don't lie. You know what I mean? The age, he is the oldest. By numbers, he is the oldest. I would just say, like, looking at him and shit like that, you could tell that there's other dudes that are possibly, you know what I mean, when they say they're older. They're older just by their health. They're just all of that shit. You know what I mean? But I do agree. You know what I mean? It is something that's to look out for, because I think the one question is, how long does he stay for? You know what I mean? How long does he stay for with the Raiders? Because he is 73. How long does he plan to, you know, stay around and shit like that? Does he find his successor in the meanwhile? You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. Oh shit, we got Gravy in the motherfucking building.
What up, bro?
What you waking me up all early for this bullshit for?
See, that's what I was gonna say too. That motherfucker Pete Carroll was up at like 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, yeah, let's get it done. Chewing on some gum, bro.
He already
still catching one-handed catches. You see him still catching one-handed catches out there, bro, from quarterbacks and shit. Like, you don't see no 73-year-old doing that shit.
You see pumping the ball out there.
He pumping the ball like this and like that, bro.
Motherfucker was running routes the other day, bro, and catching it with one hand. I swear to God, no, I'm not even lying either, bro. I swear to God.
What up, D Mendes? What up, people in the chat?
What up?
Early beautiful day, bro. Got my coffee. Got my homemade blueberry muffins in the hot right now.
Damn. Meanwhile, I'm at work.
There you go. Make that money for me, baby. Make that money for me.
This is true. Exactly. That's the thing too. Like, I get it when they're old and they're out, like they're outdated and shit like that. They're like, they don't know today's game, or they're not keeping up with today's game. I understand that shit. I understand all of that shit, now, because there's plenty of coaches like that. But I don't see Pete as one of those. I don't see Pete in that round. Now, there's a reason why he's one of only 3 coaches to do what he's done. You know what I mean? Him, fucking Jimmy Johnson, and Barry Switzer, bro. Like, they are the only coaches to ever fucking go to college, win national championships, go to the fucking pros, win Super Bowls. You know what I mean? So to be like, we sometimes are so critical on bringing in guys that, you know, like the same old Raiders and shit like that. But I just think, like, bringing in an offensive coordinator at this time, like this point in time, would have probably been like an old Raider move with this roster. You know what I mean? Because I just think maybe a young guy won't. I don't know, man. I just don't think he's prepared for this type of job, bro. Like this type of job with the Raiders, bro. Like, we've been a fucking disaster for 20 years, bro. And I don't see a rookie head coach coming out of anywhere. Like, as much as I was saying this, the opposite before, like just thinking about it now, like with the way that we are, and like, we are a fucking dysfunctional fucking franchise right now, bro. And I just think, like, somebody with that's been there, done it all. You know what I mean? I just think that he can, like, have some, like, set some stability to this franchise, bro. You know what I mean? That's why I say, can he get a successor so that when he is gone, if he don't last that long, like, we have somebody that's going to be able to, you know, like, run his system and keep running his system. So there's no drastic change like we've been having the last fucking 20 years. Every other year we have a different coach. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I kind of, like, changed my whole like looking towards it, like with Pete, dog, because look at our division. You know what I mean? Our division is one that kind of argues against all of those narratives about the young head coach type shit. You know what I mean? Like we had 3 teams in the fucking in the playoffs this year. You know what I mean? And they were all old coaches. They were all old fucking coaches with Super Bowl fucking experience or Super Bowl wins. You know what I mean? So I just like we just gotta take a look at that too. You know what I mean? Because Pete brings that also. Pete brings all of that with all of those other coaches, and I think even better.
See,
maybe not Andy Reid, but I mean he's not far behind or like right there with Andy Reid. You know what I mean? Because there is like those other coaches are not. You cannot sit there and tell me that they have a better resume or better fucking just coaching style than fucking Pete Carroll.
So my thing is, think about it like this, man. If we look at it, even though these guys coming in from college, whatever, whatnot, they look at certain coaches as how would you say it, father figure in a sense, because I mean they're leading stuff like that. A lot of players, come from single broken homes, single family stuff. So a lot of people look at coaches as like that father figure. And the reason why I say that is because you watch Andy Reid and the way he talks to certain people, the way he talked to Travis when he first came in the interview. If you guys ever heard that, Travis Kelce was saying that like, hey man, I ain't gonna be putting up with your shit. Like, you know what I mean? You're either gonna show up like your brother or you can get the fuck out. So I think instead of being that buddy which we were looking at with Antonio Pierce, I'm not saying that Antonio Pierce couldn't, eat somebody's lunch, but at the same time, it's like if you look at it, you got to look at whoever's going to be running that. Everybody has to know and respect them, and that's pretty much what it is. So his history does show that he demands respect, but also his history did show that his last couple of years at Seattle weren't.
Oh shit! Cut off. Shout out Ryan Lynn. Shout out Ryan Lynn, man, with the 5 subs, with the 5 memberships. You know what I mean? Shout out Ryan Lynn, man, for sure. Oh yeah, man.
So whatever Lowe was saying, he was getting to the right point. I believe that he doesn't come with really nothing, bad about him. You know what I mean? His last couple of years with Seattle was. People say that he might have lost a little bit, but his team was getting up there in age, and then they became an older team. They had that defense. They depended on that defense so much. So he probably just was there too long. We're not gonna expect Pete Carroll to be here 10, 15 years, and then he's just gonna give us a little jump start. Yeah, and I bet you he agrees with that. You know what I mean? I bet you he's not going in there like that. He's probably going in there, I'm gonna take control of this shit, and it's gonna be on. So, and the people that he gets around him, I'm interested to see. I know they're gonna be good people. There's a lot of people out there that he could pluck from, and I think that'll be great. But Lowe was on the right point that he gets respect, and I don't think maybe some of these coaches, they're intimidated by our division head coaching wise. I don't think Pete Carroll's beat them dudes already. You know what I mean? So he ain't worried about it. He knows they're he knows they're Look at that. His down year was 9-8, bro. Yeah. We can hope that that's something that we were like, we would be fucking up in arms. Ecstatic about, bro. We would be ecstatic for that.
We would be up in arms, dog. Like if we were
coach of the year for fucking Pete Carroll.
I mean, how about when we went 10-7? That was our fucking best year. We thought we were gonna fucking go over there and beat Cincinnati and all of this shit, right? So it's like, I just think it's I don't know, man. Pete, to me, like at the end of the day, do you want there was some candidates. I'm not gonna lie. Like, was my first candidate? What was? And I'm not gonna Ben Johnson. Yeah, but he's gone. You know what I mean? And I think that they turned their attention to the next best thing. Like, I mean, the other dudes, I would say yeah. But I just think that the reason why Ben Johnson was ahead of probably even Pete Carroll for me is just because his scheme is a little different. His scheme is different than those other guys. You know what I mean? You see those other guys. Yeah, they had some success. You know what I mean? Not on par with with Ben Johnson, but I'm just saying, like, Ben Johnson, you seen the shovel play, the fake trip, and during the season where fucking, you know, Jared Goff is like kind of like tripping and then throws a touchdown. You know what I mean? And it's just like he's just finding new ways, finding new wrinkles to, you know what I mean, to like, you know, like just fucking attack the defense. You know what I mean? And it's just that's the reason why I wanted him. But there's no that doesn't mean I'm gonna knock Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? Yeah. With all the shit that he's done, you know what I mean? Because he's done enough to where I'm like, hell no, I'm not going to pick one of these other coaches over him when I think he can bring the best staff possible with him, where these other guys, yeah, we're going to have a good name at the top, but he's going to probably, the most likely that they're going to bring some unknown name guys that we don't know, that we're going to have to, you know, scramble to figure out what is their scheme, what is this, what is that, like, you know what I mean? So I just think that Pete brings that with him, you know what I mean? It brings that aspect with him, and that's what I like about it.
And the thing is, he brings in the father figure role from Mark Davis, you know what I mean? Because he's old enough to be his dad.
They're on the same age, you know, or he's older than Mark.
Yeah, he's old enough to be his dad. I'm talking shit. I don't know. He's older than everybody, bro.
But that don't mean shit. Don't disrespect the old folks, bro. You guys gonna be there, man. Just like you got little man syndrome, you got old man syndrome.
I ain't got no little man syndrome, bro. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
This I agree with.
I guarantee you.
I totally agree with. Like,
yeah,
I don't. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Finish this. I'll talk to her now.
Nah, I was gonna say, I guarantee, like, you know, I don't give a fuck about little man syndrome. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. And I'm pretty sure Pete Carroll don't give a fuck about the old age shit neither. And I give him respect for that, bro. You know what I mean? But it's like, now that we're looking into the future for up to the next 3 years, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's going to be successful. I want him to be successful because he's our head coach. And you know what I mean? And that's what I want. Ultimately, I don't care. I don't care if fucking Deuce Gruden goes out there, starts throwing passes, and fucking gets us winning games, bro. I don't give a shit. I just want to win. The Deuce, bro. Like, but what I'm trying to
10-year vet, 10-year vet for the Raiders already.
Hey, you think if he brings in like a Salah DC or somebody like that's been head coach, I think that's a very big possibility that could be the successor. You know what I mean? Because if he brings in somebody with head coaching experience, I think that there's a plan there where Pete's like, I'm gonna do this for 3-4 more years, but you're gonna be my successor. That's why we have, you know, the head coach as a defensive coordinator or something like that. You know what I mean? Which obviously they have to stick around to and win. You know what I mean? So that way that successor is able to take the job, because if not, they're both just gonna get fired. But I just think that if they do sign somebody like that, you're gonna see. I think that they're having a plan out, because you've seen how they hired Spytek, and right after, you know what I mean? I think they might have gotten his input. Was he okay, or how would he feel about, you know, working with Pete and shit like that? I think that's what it was, and I think they got the okay with Spytek and all of that shit. And I just think that it's gonna be, I don't know, man. I just think that they're gonna be able to have a plan where they're gonna sign somebody as part of this staff to where he could very likely be the fucking successor because. Let's be real. Yeah, he is old. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do think he has at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 years good left in him. You know what I mean?
I only got a couple more minutes, man. I got to go back to work real quick.
Sure.
Now that he's our head coach, bro, like, even though I did talk shit, there's two. The next biggest question is going to be who the quarterback is coming in. You know what I mean? Fields would be nice, but even though I was talking shit,
offensive coordinator first, but then, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Fields would be nice.
Quarterback has been the news since Carl was here, but you know,
yeah. So, we've been trying to get a quarterback since fucking Pete Carroll's puberty. Anyways, that was years ago. Talking shit. No, but like real shit though. There's 3 names that I'm kind of not liking, but it's already kind of being put out there. And yes, Gravy, I didn't put this up. I read it. Sam Darnold, they do have a connection because of the SC thing. He went to go watch him play. He's been there because he would come back during the offseason, whatever, will not go to SC because that was his alma mater. So they do have a connection, so he knows about him. So there's that, which I'm kind of afraid of. Russell Wilson, the reunion of them, I don't see it happening just because of the way they fell out. But that name is going to get popped up too. The only thing that really, really makes sense is to basically go get a Justin Fields and get a Moreau. But these are things that are actually being said. And Jameis Winston is coming up as well, bro. I don't care if he throws 85 interceptions in one game and we win the game. I don't care. I just want to get some wins. I know that Russell Wilson, when he came in, a lot of people were looking at him like, nah, he transferred, he was too small. So Pete, you know what I mean, work with him, man. But he had a good defense to where, Wilson can develop. I hope that moving forward, he can get everybody to develop the same way. So
yeah, but I got some Crip Birds back here, dog. I got some Blue Jays back here. What the fuck? Yeah, but I got some Crip Birds back here, dog. I got some Blue Jays.
They're running from the fires, bro.
That's crazy, dog. I've never seen them back here. There's some fucking Blue Jays in my backyard right now.
They're running from the fires, bro. They're running for the fires.
I've never seen them back here. There's some fucking Blue Jays in my
But
backyard.
there's somebody, if you're talking about experience, especially with the head coaches, we have, our linebacker coach was Cardwell. He has a head coach experience, and we know that. And our linebackers was one of the few positions that that wasn't really that bad. I like the way Spelling developed. I don't really like Diablo, but he played well at the end when he was there. And then also, when Philbin came in and did the offensive line, we improved drastically in my eyes. And that's a guy that's been a head coach too. So he's up there in age. He might be up there with the home one, but it doesn't matter how old your coaches are. The knowledge is what's key. The knowledge is what's key to the development of those young players. And the more you know, the better the player is going to be, the better you're going to teach if they are a teacher-type coach. Because there are some bullshit-ass coaches out there in the NFL just with favoritism alone. And if you're going to – if we got guys on the staff that came in later, like Philbin and even and North Turner, you know what I mean? He's a bright mind offensively and still is. We've seen the offense change because of him and his son, but basically,
what if Turner stays?
And then Turner, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind getting a couple of OGs in there and sprinkle in a couple of young dudes that are blossoming and are good teaching coaches.
Yeah,
we're gonna go young guys.
About Rob Leonard. Then we still got to see about Rob Leonard.
Rob Leonard was a good defensive line coach. I don't know if he's ready for it to be a DC. Everybody's calling for him. Obviously he's a good coach, but that might be rushing it. But you just take your time, and then when you get picked up, people will notice you, and then you'll be. You don't want to get rushed into a failure. You don't want to get rushed into something that you're going to fail in when you're not prepared for it. But
yeah,
I think Pete knows people that has relationships with people that that'll do it. But offensively, we need to get going fast.
Yeah.
He has a son that's an offensive guy. He's in the NFL, so I don't know if people knew that. I don't know his name. He's Carroll. Really, I think he's with somebody. What it is, but we can.
I'm not
excited. We got a head coach already. It happened fast, and then all he has to do is start making phone calls and getting his staff together. That we can find out what's up, so we can see what type of shit we're gonna run, what type of what we're gonna do. Because there's a lot of people out there right now. It's still early, dude. It's still early right now in the game where you can pluck these assistant coaches from teams and make them, give them a little bit of upgrade on what they're doing.
See, if we brought in the Monken now, I would understand. If we brought Monken in for a head coach, I didn't want that. I didn't want that, nor Kingsbury. You know what I mean? Now, offensive coordinators, yeah, but like if Monken's gonna come in now, I'll run it. I didn't. Even though he has all those years and he has all that experience, I think being under a Pete Carroll and stuff like that will kind of do that. But we're looking towards the future. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to understand that whoever comes in is gonna have to be under development. You know what I mean? There's gonna have to be that medium to where we're gonna be able to get across, you know, I wouldn't say the age gap, I wouldn't say anything like that, but more along the lines of what they want to implement and how they're going to teach it moving forward. That's going to be the biggest fucking thing. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting, bro, and I'm excited for it. So
there you go, Raider Bob. Way to go, Raider Bob.
Hey, but you guys have a good show, bro. I got to get back to work, man. I'll give it to you guys a little bit, man. You guys have a good night. I'll give it to you guys later.
We'll be on with your lunchtime.
Oh, yes,
we'll be on still with your lunchtime.
All right, man. You guys have a good one, man. Peace out, nation.
All right, it's just crazy, man. Like, I like everything. I like the steps that we're taking. You know what I mean? Because we usually are not like this, like this. You know what I mean? Like there was always the that he. I know that maybe the coach is not our first hire because you heard the Ben Johnson, but to me, I don't think that was I know that was our first option just because we try to throw a Hail Mary out there, but at the end of the day, I think we got to call it for what it is. I don't think that was actually. If you see it for what it is, I don't think it was even actually a legitimate fucking possibility. You know what I mean? Like a legitimate possibility where Ben Johnson was gonna come over here. I know people say that, like at the end, right before he signed with the Bears, that there was a real they were saying real possibility he could go to the Raiders now, like that. But no, like that was to me that was never really a thing, just because of the way that everything transpired with him taking the interview at the last second and shit like that, where I think he and him always having interest in the Chicago job. You know what I mean? So I just think that at the end of the day, we might not have gotten our first choice as fans. You know what I mean? But I think right now, I think that like with what the organization wants, I think that they're happy with what they chose now, because I think this organization needs stability, and I think that's what Pete Carroll brings. What the organization wants, I think that they're happy with what they chose.
Just a 3 year span, just to put things in check, put us in the right direction. You know what I mean? Not a hard fist on the floor type dude, but he's gonna get good players. He's gonna get a good staff. You know, he's always had a good staff.
Mickey D's breakfast.
You getting Mickey D's this early?
Yeah. Well, my girl just brought me Mickey D's right now for fucking.
So how we feeling? How's everybody feeling about PC, man? How's the Pops Carroll, man? How's everybody feeling that day? What do you see, Gabe?
I see a lot of potential with this, bro. I just see a lot of potential because I just think in the next couple of hours, or in the next like couple of days, you're gonna hear some good names added to the staff. I mean, I think that's what's gonna get a little bit more people a little bit more feel more comfortable. I would say feel a little bit more comfortable with this hire. You know what I mean? Because right now all they see is age. I think all they're seeing right now is age with Pete. That's all they're seeing right now. They're not taking into account his experience, his all of the other shit. You know what I mean? So, and that's nothing to sneeze at. You know what I mean? Because he's one of, like I said, dog. He's a Hall of Famer in this shit. You know what I mean? So I just think that once this staff gets completed, I think people will start feeling a lot more comfortable with this hire.
Yeah, Liam Cohen gonna go to Jaguars. I said.
Yeah, that was last night. I think they posted that last night
on Wednesday.
Right away too, because I mean the news came out that he put his name back in the hat for the job, and then within hours he was the coach, and he informed the Buccaneers that he was going to be the coach, and that's what had everybody up in like with their fucking pacing around thinking, oh shit, Spytek is not going to sign now. Spytek is not going to sign now. And I told everybody yesterday, calm down, bro. Spytek, I'll bet my house on it. He is not going to fucking back out of the job. And exactly right after our live, literally, like if they were fucking hearing us, it says no controversy here. The Spy Tech has just signed his 5-year contract. You know what I mean?
They were watching you, game. They were watching you, brother. They were hearing you. Everybody was panicking.
I think they were just watching everybody. I think they just like, I think they hear the rumblings around the nation too, because it's just so loud, bro. Like people bring up some narratives right away. You know what I mean? People like will bring up the craziest narrative right away. You know what I mean? Which I understand, you know, that shit happened to us last year, but when has that ever fucking happened? You know what I mean? That shit was just so out of the ordinary. This shit was fucking surprising across the NFL, not just because obviously it happened to us, but that shit was not. I just had no, like, not even a little bit of a feeling that he was going to back out of the job, bro.
That's just the way we're used to being, Gabe. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
overreacting.
Yeah, we are a traumatized fan base. That's for sure.
I'm that way sometimes where I hear something good and then I'll roll with it, but I condition myself not to be that way anymore because I'm just tired of losing. And until we win, then I'll be satisfied. You know what I mean? So I see good things happen. So if it happens, then we'll go on a run, bro. It's bound to happen.
You think what was the one? What was the two? I know the North, the NFC North has a bunch of young coaches, so people point at that, right? People point, oh look, see, this is why they're. But then at the flip side, you go to the AFC West, the same shit. 3 teams in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And what do they have? The oldest coaches in the league.
Older experienced,
you know what I mean? So
coaches.
it's like, exactly. So it's like people are like, I understand the young thing because I was on that train too, bro. But you guys, I think a lot of people confuse it with getting an old coach with no credentials. Like getting an old coach with no credentials. That's the problem. That would be a problem. But to like lump in Pete Carroll in that group with like a bunch of old coaches that don't know what they're doing or that they're not going to be able to do anything, like that is not the same, bro. You know what I mean? That is definitely not the same. Like I understand the moves, like when people say, oh, that's a Raider move. Yeah, if we would have went to go get like some old ass coach that, yeah, he had a little bit of success in the NFL or something like that, but we went to go get Pete Carroll has had he has stood on the mountaintop of the NFL before already. You know what I mean? He stood on the mountaintop of the NCAA before. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't compare him to just your average old coach.
He knows how to do it. He knows how to do it, Gabe. And there's no difference when Seattle was good. There's really no difference. Just the better athletes, and that's good for Pete Carroll. You know, he's probably amazed by all these kids coming out of college saying, God damn, I wish I had this guy back in the early days. But he built the team. I'm sure he had a good general manager with him, but just the team around. We could get something like that, dude. That's all we need is something like that. Like I remember Seattle coming in. I was like, fuck, you know what I mean? They're a badass team. You know what I mean? They had Marshawn Lynch.
How about their DBs? We need fucking DBs, right? Didn't they have like the best DBs of pretty much? They probably had the best DB fucking like
the best secondary almost ever.
Secondary of all time.
Almost ever, yeah. The Legion of Boom.
You know what I mean? That Legion of Boom was fucking crazy, bro. That defense was crazy. It's one of the best defenses of all time. Like, obviously, there's a lot of great defenses, but their run that year to the Super Bowl when they won it, that was special. You know what I mean? And the amount of young players that they were able to draft and take to that team, you know what I mean? That's what has me excited for this team, bro.
And it wasn't really Russell Wilson wasn't a big time badass. Yeah, he wasn't a big time quarterback. He just got shit done. You know what I mean? And you mentioned yesterday, Bevel, he was there. He was there and guiding that. So, just that offense alone, shoot, I dig that, man. I remember studying Bevel's offense and how he did the run game and his counter plays. he was bringing in that triple option like everybody else is now. Then in just in a minor way, because he had an athletic. Russell Wilson was an athlete, was a real good dual threat quarterback when he was younger. Now he can't do it, but if he could get a guy, if he sees a guy in there that he could do that with, if he does get Bevel, I'm sure he's looking at him. But if he wants a young guy, he could bring his son in or something like that could do something, because Raider Bob did some investigating. He said his son's a passing game coordinator or something like that for a team. So Pete Carroll's sons, he has sons that are in the NFL that are then the offensive side of the ball. So I don't know them, but hey, obviously he's gonna do his son something. You know what I mean? You're gonna have a Carroll on the staff unless he's locked in contract wise. But if we could, you brought up some great names, Salah but I think he's gonna go to the 49ers. Gabe, he has
could very well be. I mean, I think the reason why he wants to go to the 49ers is because they're going to make him the highest defensive paid coach. And the Raiders do that? And the Raiders give him more money? It looks like that's what he wants. Because, you know what I mean? So, we'll see.
But I guarantee you this.
He also has a fucking experience. I mean, like,
he has
unfinished business, I think, with San Francisco, too. So, we'll see.
But his defense that he has there is old. They're run down, and then they're always hurt.
Greenlaw, I think the last time he was there, he had 2 great linebackers. Now he only has 1, you know what I mean? Because Greenlaw just keeps getting hurt, and I think he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year, too.
Pluck that guy up, but how bad his injury is, you know what I mean? That'd be a good move. But I'm just excited because I know we're going to get some good guys. It ain't going to be just whoever's there. We're at the point of the season where he could get good people and on our staff. It ain't like AP getting picked out late and then him struggling to get people. That's why he was unsuccessful, because he didn't have a chance to get a complete staff that he wanted. He wanted Kingsbury, which was the greatest move that he could have did. Probably would have saved his job if Kingsbury was there, because I know Kingsbury probably would have made Aiden or Minshew better.
I think Kingsbury would also I think that if Kingsbury would have signed, would have been stood on to, I think that would have been a clear to that. The reason why, because you know me, I'm not going to shy away from it. I think that it was because they didn't fucking assure him that they were going to go out for a quarterback. You know what I mean? And I think if they would have assured him that, he would have stood, and that would have for sure saved fucking AP's job. But right now it's Pete. You know what I mean? It's Pistol Pete. You know what I mean? So I mean, I like this hire, man. I like this hire. Obviously, we're kind of a little bit bummed from not doing, just a little bit bummed though too, because of the Ben Johnson thing. But then again, dog, too, once you turn your attention, I think, and you actually look into the Pete Carroll and what he could actually bring to this team and what this team needs, you know what I mean? I think we I was one of them too. I think I bunched ourselves in with a team that I think that is ready to make a jump right away, which I don't think we are. I think we need stability, and I think we need somebody that knows how to build a winner in, you know what I mean? And I think that serves Pete Carroll better than a Ben Johnson would. Because Ben Johnson, once he became the offensive coordinator there, they had weapons in Detroit. You know what I mean? They already had fucking Amon-Ra. They already had, you know what I mean, like guys like that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't want to downplay Ben Johnson, because I'm not gonna be one of those that says, oh, fuck Ben Johnson. What has he ever done or anything like that? No, because I was one that said that I wanted him. You know what I mean here. So, but I do think that at the end of the day, for what this team needs, looking at it now, and I know people are gonna say that you're just saying that now because we didn't get Ben, but I just think honestly, for real though, I think that this team, with its how dysfunctional it's been for the last 20 years with all of that shit, I think you need a coach like Pete Carroll.
That's perfect fit. It was either I was on the boat, if Pete didn't come here, then I would be on the McCarthy. I would say, hey, push for McCarthy, because the experience alone is just those guys right there. And then, he didn't get fired. He just got let go. His contract just ran up. So if
the only reason I don't like McCarthy,
he didn't do nothing wrong, bro. It's a situation.
I know. The only reason I don't like
McCarthy,
though, like, and don't get me wrong, like he's done it. I'm not gonna talk shit, like too much shit to him about him, but I would just say the difference I think between McCarthy and Pete, I would say just that I think Pete was able to build himself to a winner more successfully than what's his name, because I think McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, and he was a first round pick and this shit like that. You know what I mean? So, and I think Russell Wilson wasn't supposed to be what Russell Wilson was. You know what I mean? And I think he became that under Pete and his staff. You know what I mean? I think like I think when you see the development and shit like that, like Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be that good. Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be this and that. I know he waited a little bit to get chosen in the first round and shit like that, but Aaron Rodgers was supposed to be this next guy and shit like that. So it's like, I think that like it was a lot easier for McCarthy to get his title run. You know what I mean? His one title run with Green Bay than what Pete built in fucking Seattle. You know what I mean? With the defense, with Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? Being a 4th round pick and all of that shit. I just think that kind of that's what has me excited about this. Can he like, can he fucking duplicate that shit here in fucking Vegas?
Yeah, but easy BX just did what I said, or the McCarthy was involved in developing Aaron Rodgers, though. You know what I mean?
True. And I'm just saying like that. But when you think about the McCarthy developing Rodgers or Pete developing Russ, like it's like I think you had a lot more to work with Rodgers than you had with Russ. Russ was small. Russ was a guy that was not was looked at like
he didn't have no shot. He didn't have no shot. I remember.
You know what I mean? So it's like that's the thing. Like it's just you're working with less. You know what I mean?
When he started, I was like, what?
Results. You're working with less and got the same results basically. You know what I mean? Both of them have one Super Bowl with each guy. You know what I mean? And actually, Pete had a little bit more success because he made it to another Super Bowl. And he didn't call the right play on 4th down or whatever, but at the goal line. But he had more success basically with fucking with Russ than McCarthy had with Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers, I think, has only been to one Super Bowl, right?
That's it. Long time ago. But McCarthy's development as a coach, it has a lot to do with Holmgren. And in Holmgren, he has a lot of dudes out there. You know what I mean? He has, McVay. He has all these dudes. Gruden. He has all these guys that are part of his shit. And then he developed McCarthy. And then I would rather, the reason why I'm so like a McCarthy type guy, and believe me, I'm all right with Pete. I'm okay. I love that pick. I love that. I think he ain't gonna let us down. And you could just see that, you know what I mean? The drive that he has, the intensity he has on the sideline and stuff. He's gonna care. He's gonna go up to the podium and not make excuses. He's gonna say, hey, we suck today. And then he's done that before. You know what I mean? So that's what I want. I want the truth. I don't want no lollygag. He's not that type guy. He's a good old football coach that we needed. Not a puppet. He's not. This dude ain't gonna be told what to do. He's like, nah, I don't like that shit. I want to win football games. He knows he has to win, and he's with the best fan base ever in football. We're a little bit crazy, but I'm sure he's excited about this shit. I'm sure he's excited about, being in the Raider Nation, because he probably used to say, man, we're gonna go to that fucking Oakland Stadium and it's crazy over there. You know what I mean? He liked that shit. I used to love playing here.
We're gonna get a lot of in the next couple of days, or that's why I'm hoping the staff gets named soon. But because all the names are gonna come out now, people are gonna start saying, or just a bunch of different names. I hope it gets narrowed down.
What's wrong with Gus Bradley, bro? What's wrong with Gus Bradley?
Norton's gonna be named in there. Gus Bradley's gonna be named in there. A bunch of guys are gonna be, Darrell Bevel, guys that have been part of his staff before. Because I think if he wants to build a you have to duplicate that type of shit. I mean, it worked in Seattle. So, I mean, only reason why I wouldn't have too much of a problem with Gus Bradley, because I think you have another defensive mind in there too.
When Gus Bradley ran our defense, we were one of the top tackling teams. We got interceptions. What's wrong with Gus Bradley? You know,
I'm not saying I'm like me. I'm not saying Gus Bradley. I'm not saying Gus Bradley's great. I'm not saying Gus Bradley's like the worst either. All I'm saying is that like Gus Bradley's best years were under Pete Carroll, and Pete Carroll's also a defensive mind. You know what I mean? So he ain't gonna be. He's gonna have plenty of fucking help to develop that defense. It's not like, I think that's what Gus Bradley's problem been since he left fucking Seattle. You know what I mean? I think that he hasn't had Pete above him to kind of like, you know what I mean, to brainstorm with and to break down plays with, or you know what I mean, to like have that actually, you know, Pete Carroll defensive minded guy, which he's proven defensive minded fucking coach, and Pete Carroll too. You know what I mean? So I think that's what I think he could bring out. I think he's brought the best out of Gus Bradley. That's what I'm saying. Pete Carroll has brought the best out of Gus Bradley because of his defensive acumen too.
You know, we could say Raider fans can say Gus Bradley sucks, but you tell me why he's always a defensive coordinator when he leaves the Raiders. He's been a defensive coordinator ever since. You know what I mean? So
True.
Hey, you don't like that he plays zone? You don't like, you know, he gets his players. You know, he gets his players, and then those players flourish in his system, and they follow him around. They follow him around to be Pro Bowlers. Look at Ngakwe. Look at you know, other people.
I don't see a problem in Gus Bradley. I hope like there's other names out there too as well. Like if you could get fucking Salah, that's great. That's great. Like if you can find a way to go get Salah, that's what would be the best. For me, you know what I mean? But I just think that Gus Bradley's best years, you know what I mean, with that Legion of Boom, one of the best defenses ever, you know what I mean, were with Pete. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And I think that if you pair them back up, I think that they can them both, like as a pair, can make shit happen. You know what I mean? Not Gus Bradley on his own, but Pete Carroll and Gus Bradley, I think they can make shit happen. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, oh, Gus Bradley, go fucking hire him right now because he's the best defensive coach in the fucking league. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like his best years were under Pete. You know what I mean?
And his problem was that he didn't have players, Gus Bradley.
They made those players. Like nobody knew what Sherman was. Nobody knew what fucking, you know what I mean, those guys were. Like Cam Chancellor was just a big hitter. You know what I mean? Obviously, you know what I mean, when what was the other safety, fucking Earl Thomas, he was a top pick. He was great.
Chancellor,
you know what I mean? Chancellor, you know what I mean? All of those guys, you know what I mean? They were good. You know what I mean? But they drafted those guys. They brought them into Seattle. You know what I mean? So, and nobody looks at that like, yeah, that player had that team had players. But why did they have players? Because of Pete Carroll. They brought him in. They drafted him. They helped draft it. They were the ones that brought that type of, you know, that shit to Seattle. You know what I mean? They brought all those young players that came out of nowhere in Seattle that made that Legion of Boom together. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think this is what, like, we look at it as the team is constructed now, but we have 10 draft picks this offseason. We have $92 million available to us. Like they're going to get players. You know what I mean? Obviously, this team is not going to go out with the team that they have right now because currently constructed. We're going to go. I think this brings a lot of fucking attention back to the Raiders because it's Pete Carroll. You know what I mean? Like he's going to get a good staff. And I think when players also see, you know, guys with experience, oh, that guy knows that he's done it. He's been there, done that. You know what I mean? Like that also attracts players to certain places too.
We're so. That's why you're looking at the chat and saying, you know, who flourished in the Raiders when Gus Bradley gave. What was that linebacker's name? He had 150 Pro Bowl. It was the only time he's been to the Pro Bowl. Denzel Perryman. He had more tackles. He led the league in tackles. And Ngakwe had 12 sacks that year. J.C. Jackson, how many picks? He had 6 picks, the most ever. That's Gus Bradley's defense.
Did we make it to the playoffs?
We went. It was the.
When was the last time that we made it to the playoffs?
Yeah, Basaccia.
You know what I mean? Who was our defensive coach? I know that we weren't great at defense.
No,
you know what I mean?
we
But
were in the 20s,
we were effective. We were bend don't break type shit, which I don't like at the end of the day. But I think that he's not on his own here. You know what I mean? He's not going to be on his own here. He has Pete above him too, which is a great defensive-minded coach, bro. It's like when you go to, it's like when all these guys get this great fucking, they get all this fucking hoopla about them. All these offensive coordinators get this great like fucking, pat on the back because, you know, they're with a certain coach, but then they go and become a offensive coordinator somewhere else, or they become a head coach somewhere else, and they fall flat on their face. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think that this right now is like, Gus Bradley never really fell on his face, but when he was with, if we look at it, when he was with Pete, that's when he was at his best. You know what I mean? And if he does come back with Pete, that's why I wouldn't have a problem with it. That's the only reason I wouldn't have a problem with it, because that was when Gus Bradley was at his best.
I'm not that's Big T. I'm not looking for no silver lining, man. We're just bringing up names. We're just bringing up names, bro. Big T, 916.
Names are going to be.
Give me some names. Give me some names that are qualified.
All part of there. You know what I mean? Like, they're part of his name.
Give me some names that are qualified, bro. Give me some good names that are qualified, and I might agree with you. But Gus Bradley,
Ken Norton. Do you guys want to go get Ken Norton
again? You know,
and we can say, you know what I mean? Like
we were a bad defense when Ken Norton was our defensive coordinator. You know, that we start doing shit like that, then I'm gonna disapprove of Pete, because Pete's doing favors. We got it. We don't need to be same, bro. We don't need to be the same. We need to elevate ourselves. We need to elevate. And we elevated with the coaching hire. You know, I don't know if we elevated with the GM move, because I don't know the dude, but I think Pete Carroll's a big time drastic change as far as coaching is concerned as a head coach. Now we just got to elevate ourselves on the OC and the DC, and then they'll pick their little position coaches. And I think we have position coaches that are in place already here that we could build from. The defensive line coach, the linebacker coach. You know, I like the DB coach. He was dealt a lot of injuries. You know, the wide receiver coach, we've had him here layover from McDaniels and I think Gruden. So, you know, if there needs to be change, then, you know, I think Edgar Ben was a coach with Pete Carroll, so he might stick around. You know what I mean? So, but I think that Philbin did a great job with the offensive line. I don't know if he still wants to coach like in that level, advisor, but we need to kick all these.
I wouldn't mind that for sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that for sure. Cool.
He changed the offensive line drastically, Gabe, in the last couple of games that he was there. You know what I mean? So when he was involved with it, and then, you know, you got to kick Marvin Lewis and all these dudes out the way.
I'm just naming names that are like that have experience with Pete. That's all I'm saying. I'm just naming guys that have experience with Pete. They could very well go out of the coaching tree and go hire other guys. You know what I mean? Like names that they're putting out here, like Leftwich, like, you know what I mean? Like these guys, of course, yeah, they could go out there and do that. I'm just naming guys that have been part of, you know, Pete Carroll's coaching tree, because you see that a lot around the league. You know what I mean? When coaches get hired, they usually bring back guys that they're familiar with or shit like that. You know what I mean? So especially when they're old veteran coaches that have a big say so and most likely who their staff is gonna be. You know what I mean? Like a young coach, the GM might still go out and hire a offensive coordinator or this and that. You know what I mean? Because they're probably unexperienced and shit like that. But I think Pete, with his experience in the NFL and with I think the respect that he gets around that, I think he brings in his own stuff, and that's why I named these coaches that are familiar with him, because you see that a lot. You see that they bring in guys that are familiar with him.
Yo, check this out. I'm watching McAfee right now, and they got just the division. They got 20 division titles, 9 fucking Super Bowls, all together, bro. They got 9 Super Bowls.
Who?
That's what they said. 9. No, I don't think it's 9. What
Between who?
Between our division with Andy Reid, he has a couple as assistant.
Andy Reid, Pete Carroll are the two main guys, and then I think Sean Payton has one. Sean Payton has one. Harbaugh has an appearance, but he doesn't have one. But
I didn't see the ending of it.
Hey, Harbaugh is the least winningest coach in our division now. Hey.
I'm telling you, Pete Carroll ain't scared of these dudes. He beat them before, and he knows how to. So maybe in that, he has this bright mind, bro. I'm excited, bro.
Liam Cohen Liam Cohen got hired as the Jags head coach.
Just right now, yeah.
He informed the Buccaneers last night, I think, that he was going to take the job. So he's
late
not
Thursday night. Late Thursday night, he went to the facility to finalize the deal.
Yeah, Carroll has one. Harbaugh has none. That's why I'm saying now what's his name is the least winningest coach in our division. Fucking Jim Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm. And that means a lot, bro. Winning Super Bowls means a lot. Don't happen all the time. That's why Andy Reid is such an icon in this industry, because he's working on 3 in a row now, bro. That's hard to do, Gabe.
This is gonna be hard though, right here. Like, just bring back Patrick Graham. I don't know if does Patrick Graham even stay on. You know what I mean? Like, they look like they've been cleaning house since the end of the season with head coaches. You know what I mean? With just coaches, period. So I don't know if Patrick Graham stays on, bro. Like, I wouldn't mind it, just because you know how I like the continuity and all of that shit, or maybe getting all these guys on the same page finally. But to be honest, Patrick Graham this year, like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
I'm not with Rob Leonard being a DC, bro. He's never been one, and you probably heard that easy, but why would you? What resume does Rob Leonard have besides being a defensive line coach that makes you think he'll be a great DC over Gus Bradley? Just Gus Bradley, or even Patrick Graham.
Well, I know that there is a lot of word out there that Rob Leonard has been, among names that have been looked at to, like, kind of take that next step in the last couple of years. But I mean, he's getting close to taking that step. You know what I mean? Because at one point you got to jump to a coordinator, right? At one point, I mean, you've been a defensive line coach. So at one point, I mean, if your goal is to keep moving up, which I think most of these coaches have that aspiration, I think at one point you have to jump to coordinator. Would that be beneficial to us if he, like, with a guy with no experience to jump up, on this team? I don't know right now, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Rob Leonard, but it's just like, do we need Rob Leonard, or do we need something better?
We like Rob Leonard as a defensive line coach. So
yeah, like,
we want to elevate this dude.
He does have to make that jump at some point, but
we're pumping this dude up, and we're going to give him no chance to be successful. So let's just keep him as a defensive line coach. And honestly, Gabe, was our defensive line putting a lot of pressure on quarterbacks? No.
I mean, at the end, yeah. I mean, even with I think we put more. Didn't they say that? I think we had more pressure without Max. I mean, that's just a stat that where teams, I think, get a little bit, because I think teams game plan for the Raiders a certain way when Max is out there, where, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that when Max wasn't out there, I think teams, kind of scramble a little bit, but it's not that the defense is better without Max. I just think that they were able to.
They're more free. They play more free.
They have to like be more creative in being able to get there to the quarterback, which I think they did. Like when they Patrick Graham finally started sending Morig a lot. You know what I mean? You've seen Morig blitzing more. You've seen guys coming off the corner, which created a lot more pressure. You know what I mean? And you've seen the emergence of Chason, which that's going to be another big thing this offseason too. Hopefully they can bring him back, but the emergence of Chason as well too. I know Tyreek didn't fucking blow it out the water, but he played a little bit better. The defensive line played a little bit better. Adam Butler played good. You know what I mean? So there was guys playing good out there, you know what I mean? But it's just, yeah, man, it's just gonna be it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be a good situation to where I think we need a.
We the people's right, bro. The Patrick Graham's another Gunther, bro. You should leave that shit. You should leave that middle wide open.
I just think we need a change. I think we've made already changes that everywhere else. Let's just make a change. You know what I mean? Like obviously, hopefully it's for the better. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's somebody better too, like that we could actually, have confidence in. But
what up,
I don't know, man. I think this morning, this news right now, this Pete Carroll news has me excited. That's for sure.
I'm excited, and I'm excited to see us get his staff. I'll be watching. I'm going to be watching. It shouldn't take just as important, guys. It should be. He should have been on the phone already. It should be.
Yeah, I think he is. I think they are. I think they are for sure. And I think Pete already kind of has probably guys in mind. Mm-hmm. I just think that they're going to. Obviously, they have to probably run it over with the brass and all of that shit. Run down the fucking things and all that shit to see what maybe they plan on. Maybe the brass was deciding on keeping. But at the end of the day, I think they got Pete Carroll because they're gonna let Pete Carroll do what he was gonna want to do. They're gonna let Pete Carroll decide on what staff is gonna be his staff. That's the reason why we got Pete Carroll here, dog. I don't believe anything less because they had to have we have to call it for what it is. The Raiders have been organization with a lot of problems. You know what I mean, the last couple of years. So I think in order to even get a guy like Pete Carroll in here, they're gonna let him get his own staff and whatever he wants. And I think he's gonna. I think that when the numbers come out, I haven't seen the numbers, but it's gonna be, I think, minimum 4 or 5 year fucking deal.
It's 3 years. 3-year deal that includes a 4th year option. I very rarely see a 4th year option on coaches, but
4-year deal. See, I mean, his age, okay. Instead of 5-4, okay. That sounds the route, right?
3-year deal.
4-year deal.
They're talking all about it on the damn McAfee. They got Schefter out there, and Schefter reported it, so you pretty much his money.
Pete Carroll and Spytek, man. That's not. I mean, I like that. I like those, man. I like what Spytek has done with the Buccaneers, and I like Pete Carroll's fucking history, man. You know what I mean? I like Pete Carroll's history. He's never really had, even his last couple years in fucking Seattle, where people were saying that he was losing it and all that shit. He went 9-8 both years, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I just don't. That, bro. I don't see where people say that he lost it. That's all I'm saying. I don't see where people say he lost it, where they were saying he was losing it in Seattle and still going 9-8. You know what I mean? So like, it's just I don't see the bad in hiring Pete Carroll today. I can't see.
The Raider Nation is gonna.
That's guaranteed. I guarantee this too. Next year we will definitely not go 0-6. I bet you that.
Yeah. And if Pete Carroll goes 0-6 in the division again, then they get rid of his ass too. You know what I mean? Because that's unacceptable. People thought that was all right, bro. People think that shit's all right. Nah, it's not. That's embarrassing, and it doesn't rarely happen. So I don't want to talk about AP. It's done with. But
like that, we have 10 draft picks. I think we have like 10 draft picks, right?
Yeah.
2 third-rounders. You know what I mean? I think we're gonna be, but that's why I'm saying, like, people say this team, how they're constructed and all that shit. Like, we have a bunch of fucking, like, don't look at it for what it's currently constructed, bro. This is gonna be a fucking overhaul, I think, in this off season, where like we have a bunch of players that we got to look at to re-sign. We have a bunch of money to where we can be able to bring in players. We have a bunch of draft picks. This team is gonna look a lot different next year, bro. Like, you know what I mean? There's no way that this team is going to look the same next year. I mean, now does that add to wins? Does that amount to wins? Hopefully, you know what I mean. But we're going to be a different team out there. This is not going to be it's going to be night and day from where, like, you can't compare where, this guy did this because he had a good team, or they wouldn't have done nothing with this team. Like, this is going to be a totally different team next year, and that's why I like Pete, because I have confidence in what he can build. in this offseason. Him and Spytek could build this on this offseason.
Exactly.
Because they have a lot of shit available to them. You know what I mean? And you want guys that have been there, done that, especially with this money available. Go out and pick the right guys. I mean, he's been in the recruiting process at SC and got guys there. You know what I mean? He's been the development of with Seattle, where they were one of the youngest team in the league and had the best defense. You know what I mean? So I think he can build. I think he's going to be able to put a very good kickstart into this fucking team, dog.
From what I remember, Pete Carroll, when he was at USC, you know, he wasn't the first option. He was like one of the last options that they had.
Oh yeah, when he got hired,
when he went there, yeah. But he was. I remember checking him out. And that was a long while ago. But he was, as far as recruiting was concerned, he was the one that was going into New York, Connecticut, bringing back wide receivers, the baddest wide receiver from Connecticut, going all over the place, bro. Going all over the place, plucking people. You know, that was his college days, but, you know, he has the eye for talent, too. And you know, you could tell by his Seattle teams. They were always in the mix. They were always in the mix, except for the last couple of years in the playoffs or something. And I just want that, bro. I just want us to be in the mix soon. You know, I'll wait for Pete Carroll to change this. And I know it's going to be a lot of work, but I think he's going to grasp the Raider Nation like us, and he's going to get even more inspired, and he's going to love this shit that we're going to provide for him. But I don't want to be critical. I don't want to be critical about the guy because he has so much knowledge and experience. You can't do that to the guy. You can do that with AP, but you can't do that with a guy that knows a lot, dude. That forgot football more than any of us has. You can't question his fit. So
his experience,
yeah. So he's been there before. He's done it, and we should be happy about that. You know, I don't see a lot of people saying, "Oh fuck," you know. I seen a couple of little quickies, but that, you know, he's an old guy, so you're just young, man, and you're mad. You wanted a young guy, but who's out there?
Man.
Yeah, who's out there that could? They're all being plucked up. You know, Spagnola. You think you want that? You know what I mean? A failed head coach in one team already, and in you know, Brian Flores that has issues with the NFL, or you know, Joe Brady. He's the best one. But he's in a good situation with a badass quarterback. Yeah. So
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, Kingsbury, he's in a perfect situation. The can't lose situation. You know, you only can win with that dude. So besides being a head coach, which he wants to do, he wants a second chance to do it.
I'm just glad, fuck, man. Shout out Loon. Loon, go check out Lunatic. Go check out Raider Allegiance channel, man. That shit, he has that shit always cracking. But I had to disagree with my boy last night, man. He was talking about Matt Nagy, and I was like, no.
Oh,
as
man,
a head coach, I was like, no, Matt Nagy, like hell.
Didn't we do that already?
Matt Nagy is, I guess, because Matt Nagy was he's the offensive coordinator in
Kansas City
with Kansas City right now. And he was just talking about like what if we bring in Matt Nagy? You know what I mean? Because he had connections with Spytek in fucking Philadelphia. You know what I mean? So like I was like, hell no, please don't bring up that name.
Matt Nagy has contacts with almost every coach in the NFL, dude. That's how much he's been tossed around the NFL.
I just think he's Andy Reid's puppet.
Yeah, he's the Eric Bieniemy of you know, he took Eric Bieniemy's place.
That's all it is, bro. And you've seen what Eric Bieniemy's done away from him. You've seen what Matt Nagy's done away from him. You know what I mean? He went to fucking he had a good year with Chicago their first year, but they were built to win. You know what I mean? That's why he went over there, and then they sucked after that, and then he lost his job. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah, Matt Nagy. That was one name I was just.
Hasn't he been a head coach? Didn't someone give him a chance
with the Bears?
Oh,
that one good year with the Bears.
That didn't last that long. Who did he have as quarterback? Fucking Rippin or something? Who do you have at quarterback?
That year, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Damn.
It was 2018. I don't know who the quarterback was in 2018. But yeah, I know that he had one good year. I think they were like 12 and I think they won like 12 games or something like that. But the years after that, they just totally lost it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
I've seen Matt Nagy on a bunch of teams as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean, offensive coordinator, cool, because he has that. I mean, he don't have the you don't have to stay, and you don't have to fucking, you know, like just have everything, you know, just have everything on his mind. You know what I mean? But nah, Matt Nagy as a head coach, I'm glad that we got this news today.
And they're talking about it, man. We all over the TV today.
Hell yeah, that's good, man. That's a good thing, man, because like you seen last year, we were all excited as Raider fans when the AP got hired, but he was a footnote. He was a motherfucking footnote on ESPN and shit. You know what I mean? And
Look at all the attention. Look at all the attention we're getting just because Pete Carroll.
Exactly. I think we as fans, obviously, we're going to be happy a lot of the time with some of the guys, especially because like Pete, I mean, what AP had done last year. You know what I mean? With McDaniels, the way he left us and shit like that. Not left us, the way he fucking fucked up this team, and then he, you know, AP put some spark into the team. I think that's why a lot of people wanted him, you know, as the next head coach. But I think we were now looking back at it. Yeah, I mean, it looks like you've seen how guys act, like especially like these big media outlets, how they reacted when AP's like news, right? Like it kind of reacted to it like it was not that big of a deal, and it kind of reflected on the season. It wasn't that big of a deal because he didn't do shit. You know what I mean? And you see when guys get hired and media's usually excited or something like that, it's for a reason, bro. Yeah. It's for a reason because these guys have been there, done that. You know what I mean? And like they know what that like. This is big news. This is fucking big news. Like Pete Carroll, bro. It's Pete Carroll. I know people want to I don't know why people want to downplay him, but like it's like he's fucking Pete Carroll, bro. He's a Hall of Fame coach that we're able to get here. You know what I mean? That's not something that people were thinking about. Like as far as yesterday, when we didn't have our fucking nobody signed with Spytech, people were already saying we're probably gonna get this is the Raiders all over again. We're probably gonna get the 5th, 6th fucking candidate that we want. You know what I mean? And we got Pete Carroll, a Super Bowl winning coach.
And we don't know
a national championship winning coach. Like, you know what I mean? That's for me, that's big, dog. That's big.
You know, it's probably true that Pete Carroll was the second option because everybody liked Ben Johnson. Yeah. But maybe we concentrated on Pete and kept with him, saying we know this guy ain't gonna come here. We don't know. We're just assuming, Gabe, that you know, we're just assuming that Ben Johnson was our number one guy. But we people talk, bro, in those circles and say, hey, the Bears already got this dude locked in. And there could be some tampering involved, bro. You know what I mean? There could be some tampering involved, and maybe Chicago tampered with the dude and said, "Hey, we'll give you this amount of money, $92 million, and all this shit." And so Pete Carroll could have been our number one option.
What do you think about it? Like he won one Super Bowl and hasn't done shit since. Let me just ask this: what since he won his Super Bowl, what other coach has done shit other than Andy Reid? That's what I'm saying. Like you got like people want to say he hasn't done shit, but what other coaches out there that were available have done shit? Have done anything in this league?
Come on, Kev.
As a head coach. You know what I mean? Like they haven't done shit in this league as a head coach. So like, yeah, he hasn't done shit since. But like he hasn't done shit but make it to the playoffs 3 or 4 more times after that.
Well, who do they want, bro? Who do they want?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's only one team that wins the Super Bowl. There's only one team that wins the Super Bowl every year. You know what I mean? And he was still able to get his. After that Super Bowl, he was still able to get his team back to the Super Bowl. And even after that, when they started losing players because of contracts were getting bigger and bigger, he was still able to make it to the playoffs year after year. Even in his last couple of years, when he went 9-8, he barely missed the playoffs. You know what I mean? And with a winning season. You know what I mean? So it's like people want to say he hasn't done shit since. What coaches have? Other than Andy Reid.
Please research. Do your research on this dude, and you're gonna see it. You know what I mean? You got to. Yeah, saying that he ain't done shit and having a 9-8 record in the NFL, that could get you to the playoffs, bro. It's way better than fucking 4 and something. I'll tell you that. With a guy that
and with
we
all the coaches
love.
that are left, what coaches have done shit?
Yeah.
What coaches have?
Andy Reid.
Can you say
But Andy Reid.
No, I'm saying
Reid.
the coaches that are left available.
Mm-hmm. Besides McCarthy,
not one has done shit. But McCarthy, yeah,
that's it.
And his with Super Bowl was further
you
away
know
what I mean?
But you know, they want that's how we root for, is the unqualified rah-rah type guy rolling up in an Impala wearing Air Force Ones, and then we all think that's great, but can he coach? Can he coach the guys? Can he? Oh, he was a great leader of men. You know what, man? Saying that you need to be a leader of men, the way coaches think, honestly, when you hear that type, you know, verbiage from somebody that's on the media or that's in content creation or whatever, when they say we need a guy that's a leader of men, if you're a man playing on a team, Gabe, you know you have that in you already, bro. You don't need somebody to push you over that limit. If you can't do that yourself, then you don't belong in the NFL, bro. You belong on the beat.
When you go,
you belong on the beat.
When you go up to it, like when you see somebody like that, right, like a coach, like, and I'm not disrespecting any other coach. I'm just saying, when you're in that position as a player, and you seeing the coach that you have that's done it, has won a Super Bowl, has won a national championship, has done this, you get more confidence. You get more confidence in that this guy can bring us out of this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it's a great hire, to be honest.
What better person to say? Don't say he's a leader of men. That's a gimmick in football that coaches don't say. He's a leader of men. That means you got a pussy ass team, bro, that needs inspiration, that needs to get built up. That little extra motivation that your coach could give you with a speech or a word or two, that's inspiration. That's the guidance of it. You should have that in yourself. If you're a real ass dude, a man in the NFL, you don't need that coach to pump you up. That's in you already. And then coaches don't say, I'm the leader of men. That word, that's not there, bro. We say that. And the media says that. But as far as like Pete Carroll's concerned, I don't need my guys to run through a brick wall for me. I just need to give them one word. Let's go. Let's kick some ass. Fuck these dudes. I'm tired of these. We coming. And then that's it. That's all you need. You know, what type of leader of men are generals and admirals and military type shit. Hey, that's not the NFL, bro. So if you want to say that Pete Carroll has that, he does. We know Pete Carroll has that, and that's different for our team. In the beginning, AP looked like he had that, but it didn't happen during the season. Pete Carroll always brought that type shit, and we should be excited about that. I am. Yep. I'm ready to go. I'm gonna go buy me some new shit too. I'm gonna buy me some new Raider shit now. I'm gonna come out with some brand new gear, bro. Ready to go when I hit LA. Shit, I'm gonna be ready to go.
Like I like Spags too. Don't get me wrong. I like Spags too. But what was he as a head coach? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Like I like Spags too. Like, but the only thing is that his only stint as a head coach, he failed as well too. Like, you know what I mean? And so but don't get me wrong. It's nothing against Steve. I just think that when you kind of like comparing them, it's no comparison. You know what I mean? I think Pete is. I think that Pete has the experience and all of that shit. You know what I mean? I just think he can provide a lot of fucking stability on this team, bro. And that's what I think we need on this team, because I think that's where we go up and down, and we never bring any stability to this fucking team.
And we need to give him those years, bro. We need to give him those years because, you know what, Gabe? I think all this money we got and what we're missing to see is that there's a lot of free agents out there, bro, that we have on our, especially defensively. We can basically lose almost all our whole defense. You know, the good names. You know what I mean? And that's what we're probably gonna be half the money or less than half the money just on signing our free agents. You know,
can you imagine if he comes in here and builds like a defense like the Legion of Boom?
The Legion of Gravy, bro.
The Legion of Gravy.
That's a words of Tubby Chile, bro. The shirt coming soon. Legion of Gravy. Legion of Coach Gravy. But hey, man, he came out with the first. I was amazed to see like a 6'2", 6'3" corner. That never happens. Now it's the thing, bro. You know, Pete Carroll was the first. You know, Gus Bradley was the first dude to come out with these 6'2", 6'3".
Browner.
It was
Browner,
Sherman and Browner. Whatever.
Browner.
They had those two giant long arm safeties.
Yeah.
Now you see every cornerback with length, skinny.
Or their only small guy was Earl Thomas, right?
Yeah, that's it. The safety, but he was a rock, bro.
Because fucking what's his name? Cam Chancellor was a fucking
he's a big motherfucker.
He was a fucking linebacker playing safety, but with range. You know what I mean? Fucking infinite range and shit like that. But and then you had those two fucking, you know, great corners. You know what I mean? Like they had some good corners. Vernon Maxwell too. They had that. I mean, they had Maxwell as well. You know what I mean? Brandon Browner. They had fucking, you know.
That secondary was top. You know, besides Ed Reed and all them other guys that they had over there.
Not Brandon Maxwell.
You know, then you had the running game with those. I just like what I seen, and I hope he brings that type guy. There's guys like Marshawn Lynch that are in the draft today. You know what I mean? That are fast, that are big. You know, they're 230, 225 young men, bro. They're 20 years old. And they could be just like Mark. He probably sees a vision of a running back like that. That's what he wanted. And Jesus, if we get one of those guys and drop the three fucking pussies we have in our room, then we'll be great, bro. That's what he got to start out with. And that's why I like that. I'm concentrated on that Darryl Bevel shit that you was talking about, Gabe. People might not like that, or people might not know him, but
yeah,
that'll be great, bro. Because I know for a fact that Pete Carroll likes to run the ball, and he brought that to that division. You know, that division wasn't really it was like, you know, greatest show on turf. You know, passing the ball all over the place, and the Rams still do it. And then, you know, so does Seattle. Seattle does it with their great receivers, and you rarely see the running game. But Seattle had the running game, bro. They used that first, and then they balanced it out. You know, with DK, Geno, you know, handing the ball off. The more you throw the football, the more bullshit that can happen, bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Go. The guy that always
G in the building.
2025. Let's go.
Team Pete, man.
Craig and Mike.
Showtime.
¿Cómo estás?
What up,
I'm all excited, bro.
Top of the morning.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yep.
I got
all morning, man. How you feel, man? How you feeling?
I got all excited. My mic came on and shit.
I'm chewing my gum already, dog. Chewing gum, homie. I think I
kind of know how Mike feels. I think he's for damn sure excited, because if he's on here, he's excited. Nah.
You know, I think it's the best scenario for us for a young core, for a old man to go in there. They'll respect even more. They'll respect Pete more than a new guy, you know, that hasn't established shit. You know what I mean? So for me, I think it's gonna be in good hands. I don't expect much like right away and shit like that, but I think he's gonna give us some consistency, dog. You know what I mean? Finally, somebody that knows how to call timeouts at the right time, fucking knows how to fucking, you know, just knows how to run an organization, dog. Period.
Yeah, you know, been there, done that.
Yeah, I think Ben Johnson would have been great, dog, but it's crazy to put rookie coaches when a team really needs to just have consistency, dog. And and to continue to put rookies in there, it's tough, bro.
Tough.
So I think
Very
it's the
tough.
best scenario for us, man. Pete Carroll, fucking somebody under him, fucking learn the ropes for 2-3 years, and fucking just let it go, man. I think the perfect scenario is Robert Saleh. That will be the perfect scenario, bro. But yeah, man. Yeah, Gus Bradley scares me because he's so predictable, dog. I mean now, but he has built great defenses. Don't get me wrong, shit.
With Pete,
exactly, and I think we're almost like halfway there building that shit. Coons, Max. We'll probably get a couple of corners in the draft. If knowing Carroll, dog, we'll probably end up drafting either that kid from Boise State or Will Johnson. One of them.
You're a Will Johnson guy, Mike. I like Will Johnson too at 6. He's that type guy. He's that type guy at 6 to me.
And we need a shutdown corner, dog. We need one.
Yeah.
Especially if we're gonna be fucking rushing really good next year, dog. Shit, he's gonna eat.
I mean, we do have a possibility too of having hopefully, you know what I mean? Because I think he made a big step, and if he can make another step like that in his third year, in Jacorian Bennett, I think Jacorian Bennett was a way different player this year, man. So if he can make even a different jump this year, and we can draft the corner, I think we're gonna be pretty good out there, man. You know what I mean? I think if somebody's gonna give me like confidence in that they're gonna be able to draft a good corner, who better than fucking, you know what I mean, Pete Carroll, and you know what I mean? Obviously Spytek's gonna be in there too, but you know, they've got some good fucking, you know, DBs in Tampa too. But yeah, like I'll just say, like, yeah, they had plenty of fucking DBs in Seattle when they were there. I just think that they don't know what to do, and I think that that's the best way to go too, because you know how this league is now. It's a passing league, so we need as many corners as we can get our hands on.
I think they'll respect Pete more, dog, than a young coach. I feel, dog, like they'll rally around him. Pete Carroll's he's like a, you know, he plays basketball in the fucking practices like that. Yeah, I think he's an amazing coach, bro. You know what I mean? So I mean, he has to prove it, obviously, but shit, dog. That was one of the big questions. That was one of the big questions when he was coming from college to the NFL. Would he be able to translate that rah type shit in the NFL? And he did it. Yeah. He fucking did it. You know what I mean? Which I think that's where Pete Carroll, that it's not that fake rah shit. Like, that's Pete. You know what I mean? And I think people are like, you know, they go to that shit, dog, and I think they respect that out of him, dog. And I just think that that's what Pete Carroll's gonna bring out of this team, dog. I think Pete Carroll, it's not changing too much of like AP. AP was just like a cheerleader, pretty much, dog. You know what I mean? Just the X's and O's and all that other shit just kind of backfired on him, dog. You know what I mean? Some decisions that he made with the Minshew and the AOC end up killing his ass, but. Man, I'm excited as fuck, dog. You had me out here at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning, fucking starting a live. Hell yeah. No, that's what it is, dog. You know how we are. Me up, bro. You waking me up. Hell yeah. Yeah, dog. I couldn't lie this time, dog, because yesterday I said on the live, I was like, if the breaking news comes on, we're gonna come right on here and do it, man. And yeah, we came right on here and said it, man. You know what I mean? I'm excited for the rest of this weekend too, because I think we're gonna get our coordinators in. You know what I mean? I just think that the next news to drop, I think hopefully it's some cool names that we've been talking about and shit like that, that, you know, that don't make us scratch our head. You know what I mean? But I do think this is a perfect start to the morning, dog. Perfect start to this fucking Friday, this fucking actually beautiful fucking Friday. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I think it's a great start to this fucking weekend. Hell yeah. I think we're just gonna go back to the basics, boys. But to be honest with you, dog, good run game, fucking solid ass defense, fucking just control. Yeah, dog. Just Marion Hampton. I like that. Old school, because our division is old school, dog. So shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. I just think it's gonna be good, man. I just think that there's a reason why three AFC West teams made it to the playoffs this year, man. You know what I mean? And what is that? What do they all have in common? Experienced coaches. Experienced older coaches, right? I mean, I know that the league is, you know, moving towards the younger coaches and all of that shit, but
when you have of an example of look at this division. You know what I mean? This division is filled with older coaches who won Super Bowls or been to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And it's like they're still being successful. All three of those other teams made it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? With one of them with the rookie quarterback. You know what I mean? So it's like it's that's why that cannot be downplayed in this situation, bro. Like Pete's experience in this situation in this division cannot be downplayed.
Yeah. I was teasing the guys all week with fucking Ron Rivera and shit, but nah, I was just teasing that shit, but
I guarantee you this. Pete Carroll ain't gonna let little ass second-year Bo Nix throw the ball for 300 yards against us. I know that for damn fact.
No. When it got too big for him, I feel like, dog, like he just, you know what I mean, like. I
started seeing that game 3 after when we took the loss after the Baltimore game to Carolina, Mike. I seen that. I seen this guy wasn't ready for that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we weren't supposed to lose to Carolina.
We put in a bad situation. You know,
we weren't supposed to lose to Carolina like that at home.
This right here, Luis, what he's saying, that's definitely very true. Definitely very true. But I have confidence in. That's why I like Pete here as well, because I have confidence that he knows that. I think Pete knows that. That's why he took the job. Like, I think he knows exactly that he needs a quarterback, and I think he's going to go do something with the quarterback. It's still yet to be seen if, you know, we're going to be up in arms about it or anything like that, or you know, worried about it. But I guarantee you, he's going to address that position, bro. There's no way he doesn't.
And it's sad to say,
Mike, you think we should move up to get one of these dudes, Mike?
I don't want to get too desperate. I don't want to get desperate like that because 2026 is a great class of quarterbacks coming out too.
True.
I really want us to just focus on just the solidness of our defense, build the lines, the quarterback. Yeah, it's important. Hell yeah. If Shador and Cam is there to get, I wouldn't mind, but or unless we fall in love with somebody at 6 or in the later rounds, I don't mind, but it's time to build it right this time, dog. I mean, a quarterback does change everything. Let me tell you that, but for sure. At 6, it's a tough unless we move up.
Yeah, because I think there's a new coach, and I think we have to be ready to like. So I think one of the main things I think Pete, why he took this job is that they had to secure him that you ain't gonna fire me after this first year. I don't give a fuck what we do. I don't give a fuck how much games we lose. You're not gonna fire me after this year, or I'm not taking this job. You know what I mean? Because I think Pete's not going to put himself in that situation. You know what I mean? To where like I think he like, and it's true. Like the 2026 draft is a lot better. So do they go out and go sign Justin Fields on a 2-year contract? You know what I mean? To where they have him 1 year and then maybe be the bridge to the next guy in 2026. Like there's a lot of things. There's a lot of ways that we can go. You know what I mean? But I think this is a great start with Pete.
Yeah, I'm eager to see the OC, man. Bring in.
You know what I don't understand is that people are saying, "Well, move up to go get Shador Sanders." We were there already.
Yeah,
we were there, and then I guess we messed up and won a couple of games, and then we dropped to 6. How stupid would we be? How stupid! Typical Raider shit, right? To move up.
Lovie Smith does, yeah. He Lovie Smith.
We were there already, and we won a couple of games and dropped to 6. That's just dumb to me, bro. Why would we move up to get somebody?
BK is a free agent.
It's meant to be though, Greg. You know what I mean? Shit.
We're meant to be at 6.
Seen a lot of DK in the chat.
Imagine we get that running back.
He's a free agent this year. He is a free agent this offseason. DK is going to be a free agent this offseason. So it's a possibility, man. That is a possibility.
We get DK. You better say bye-bye to all that money we got in the stockpile, bro.
You never know.
I'm just saying, like, that's a possibility just because of he drafted him.
Ain't no hometown discounts, bro. Ain't no team friendly discount is not in the players' repertoire, bro. It's not in there.
Any offensive players that's getting traded right now is going to be up to that OC. You never know the OC that we bring in. Might be tight end. Lovely.
He's gonna be free agent. I know. No, I think there's not. They don't have to be a trade for that one, but because I think DK is gonna be a free agent this year.
Oh no, yeah. I was talking about Mike Myers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Michael, man, it's good. I mean,
I'll keep Myers, yo. I'll keep that.
Yeah, no, I like. He's solid. He's just mentally a little bit. You know what I mean? I would be fucking mentally fucked too. The way we running shit lately. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but maybe his shit is personal. But you go from Notre Dame from being the main guy, fucking getting the ball every single snap to coming to the Raiders to basically like just to block and just once in a while get a pass like once every 20 snaps. That could be demoralizing for a player, bro.
He was a man at Notre Dame. He was a man at Notre Dame.
Then you have Bowers and you see that motherfucker. He just, you know what I mean? So,
have any news ever came out of what was wrong with him or why did he take that leave of absence? Nothing really ever came out. They kept it private, which is cool too. It was a family matter and all of that shit.
Personal, yeah.
He wasn't into the game, so
you never know, dog. Sometimes they lose a baby or something. We never know, bro. Yeah, I'm just fucking.
I'm glad he's back.
Oh,
it helped. You could tell offensively when he was in there that we improved a lot.
Hell yeah!
He helped that offensive line. He helped that offensive line out pretty good. So,
fuck yeah!
But I think we're straight on defense, bro. I think our injuries we're gonna recoup from that. And then we just.
That's why I'm not worried about whatever defense court. That's why I'm not even worried about too much Gus Bradley, even because I just like Pete's mind as a defensive guy. Because Pete's mind is that great of a defensive mind too, that we're like, you get a situation to where like those offensive minded coaches, we like Andy Reid, right? Like he's an offensive minded coach, but he always has like a puppet type of guy as their offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Like a guy that's just not holding the clipboard, but there to like more of an extension of the actual guy who's really the defensive guy, right? Like we're just Pete in this situation. You know what I mean? So I think like that's why I'm not worried really too much about the defensive coordinator that's going to be hired, because I think whatever defensive coordinator gets hired, I think Pete's going to be heavily involved in that defense anyway too. You know what I mean? So I think that's why the offensive coordinator job is, to me, that's the one to look out for right now. Like, who are we going to hire as offensive coordinator?
That's a biggie, man. It's a biggie. Because I think Pete Carroll, regardless of the defensive coordinator, he has an idea of what the defense he's want to see out there. You know what I mean? Sure. So he can coach anybody to kind of like having his philosophy on the defensive side anyway. So if we don't get a top-notch guy on defense, I think Pete Carroll, whoever he gets, probably a young and up-and-coming dude. I just hope it's not Ken Norton, dog. Fuck.
We did that already, bro.
I hope it's not
back all the time, bro.
Yeah, somebody with some experience would be good. Yeah, for sure. Like somebody with some good experience has actually done something. You know what I mean? Like,
I can guarantee you this: Ken Norton's probably going to be on the staff. I can guarantee you that. Ken Norton's probably going to be on the staff.
Probably linebackers coach. You know what I mean? Something like that. I mean, he was good at linebackers coach. I mean, Bobby Wagner, he developed those guys. Bobby Wagner, what's his name? The guy that played with us. KJ Wright, right? KJ Wright. I mean, those were some good ass fucking linebackers. I don't think Bobby
Wagner needed Ken Norton, bro. Bobby Wagner is Bobby Wagner, but yeah, I don't think he needed Ken Norton's guidance.
I feel you, but like there's always times
Ken
where
Norton was an amazing player, bro. That motherfucker was badass, dog. I mean, mentally, I think he knows what.
Ken Norton was good, dude. I like him,
but as a defensive coordinator, that motherfucker was whack.
We tried that already, bro. We tried that out.
Like I don't mind this. I don't mind this thing right now just because of what Pete Carroll I think brings. Like I think Pete Carroll, like this gets me not too down. Like if we were able to get this, I think he knows that Russell Wilson is not going to be like if they were able to get Russell Wilson for a year, and because they don't necessarily agree on the quarterbacks in this draft. Like they don't. Like if they don't necessarily agree on the quarterbacks in this draft, like maybe they go get a bridge because there is a great class, like you said, in 2026. You know what I mean? But I don't think that's by any means. I don't think that's the reason why they don't compete this year. Like they're going to compete this year. They're going to find a way to compete this year. Like Spytek, you know, and that's why I like the Spytek hire, because when Tom Brady left the Buccaneers, they were supposed to be trash because they were above the salary cap. They owed money to the salary cap. They owed like because they had went so much over the salary cap, so they were paying the luxury tax the next year. So they were about to be trash because they were supposed to get rid of all of their players because of the Brady thing and all that shit. They said that, oh, now they got their Super Bowl, so now they're gonna, just go off into the sunset and probably be bad for a couple years. Spytek made them win their next 2 divisions after the departure of Brady. You know what I mean? When people thought they were gonna be shit, he was still able to build that team somewhat, even with all of those holes that they have and no money available. You know what I mean? So I like what Spytek was able to do with that over there, and I like the experience that Pete Carroll brings with, you know what I mean, with this coaching. I like these hires, bro.
Because right now there's more answers, the answers than if a rookie coach was in here, dog. We'll be fucking asking a lot of questions. Yeah. So there's a lot of more answers right now with this hire than there is questions. You know what I mean? So for us now, it's just to see what staff, and then boom, moving forward. We got a rookie coach in here like a Ben Johnson. Yeah, we would have been excited, but then we would have been like bunch of questions, bro. With Pete Carroll, we kind of already know, like, hey,
we would have got
Dennis Allen back as DC.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm not nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying he's a DC and
going backwards.
Yeah, I think he's the defensive coordinator in Chicago, right?
Yeah. See, Ben Johnson bringing dudes around him now. You know what I mean? So
he could be Josh McDaniels 2.0, dog. Yeah. You never know. Ben Johnson could be a great offensive coordinator, a great mind, but to be a leader of men, let's see. Because those offensive coordinators, they're bricks, dog. They're the motherfuckers that walk with a book like this, and they fucking think they have the biggest balls, just like Josh McDaniels. They think
you to remember that shit. They expect you to remember that shit in one day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Defense, you can run around.
I think Chicago did do a good job though, because I think that
because of Caleb,
I think what's his name hired a good coach, because Ben Johnson, I think and that's what a lot of rookie coaches sometimes don't do. They won't hire another guy under them that has head coaching experience. You know what I mean? I think because they sometimes feel threatened by it, that if I fucking start off bad, do they fucking cut me off and just promote the next guy? But I think that is good for them, because he is an offensive mind, and then the first guy that he brought along was a previous head coach. You know what I mean? A previous head coach with a lot of defensive experience. You know what I mean? Which he's going to take care of most likely the offensive side, and then Dennis with the defensive side, which I don't think is as important for their offensive coordinator, because Ben Johnson is most likely going to be the de facto fucking offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? Because it's like what Matt Nagy's doing right now in Kansas City. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what we need. I think like our defensive coordinator is not the most important thing because of the defensive-minded coach in Pete. Right now is what good offensive mind we could bring in here. That's the next best move that we need right now.
Oh yeah, bro. Man, I gotta get ready for work, man. I work swings now, but man, I appreciate the invite. Much love, motherfucker.
Much love, man.
Triple
G show. Triple G show for a minute, bro.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, appreciate you.
Anytime, Mike.
Thanks for putting up, man. Thanks for putting up for sure, man. It's good to hear that, everybody's opinion, you know what I mean? But especially one that's been here and fucking, been here with us basically almost since day one, man. So thanks for showing up, man, for sure.
You guys are doing fucking amazing. Keep it up, brothers. You already know, man.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks, bro. We're trying.
Hell no. You guys are doing fucking great, dog. Fucking keep it up. Fuck all the haters out there, motherfuckers.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Not the way we feel, Mikey.
But yeah,
Shout
man.
out to Big Mike G, bro. Shout out Mike G, man.
There's even a possibility of us going live later, even, Gravy, to be honest, because if we hire another offensive coordinator, we going live again.
Let's go, bro.
You know what I mean? So it's like right now, I mean, I think we've kind of hit everything. You know what I mean? We're almost 2-hour mark anyway, too. So like, I think we kind of hit everything. But I mean, you have anything left? Oh, shit. Go for it.
I just want to watch TV, bro. I
want to see what names are come up. I want to kind of, dive into like, just a bunch of just a little shit. You know what I mean? doing a lot of that shit lately, trying to give, better content to the chat and all of that shit. So, that's why, if you hear me a little bit more fucking talkative or whatever like that, I'm trying to do a little bit better for the channel and all that shit, man. Just trying to deep dive into all of these shits, you know what I mean? Trying to give you guys fucking whatever, if you guys don't know it and I know it, or if you guys know it, put it in the chat, you know what I mean? Just shit, let's just, that's why we're the nation, man. You know what I mean? That's why we're the nation.
I believe there wasn't another show out there on like we were, bro. I don't.
Yeah, shit. I mean,
we
live right now, so I don't really know, but all I know is this is gonna be more of the norm. You know what I mean? We get some breaking news. We're gonna try to be up here, man. We're gonna try to be up here and break it to you guys, and break it down for you guys, our opinions and shit like that. So, but everybody that's in the chat right now, thanks for popping up, man. I know it was early morning, you know what I mean? Early morning breaking news and shit like that. But hey, man, we got our coach, we got our GM, and I think this is where it starts, man. I think it definitely needed to start there. I think we have some great candidates. But how do you feel, Gravy? Last comments.
I feel the same, bro. I feel the same. I think it was a great hire. It's just moving forward. I'm very interested on who the offensive coordinator is going to be or what names are involved. And I'll do my pick on what I like. I'm an offensive guy, so I'm gonna see what's up and see what's going on. So stay tuned. If not, sub the Raider Nation Live, Raider Gay 420, and I have my own show too, Coach Gravy. Not on it much, but I plan to because I'm on a hiatus from working and stuff like that for a minute. But that's up and coming. So I enjoyed this and we're gonna pop you another video this evening or this afternoon of new information comes out. So just stay tuned and watch for the thumbnails on YouTube. And then Gabe has the control, so he'll do it, man. I always be rolling with him.
For sure, man. And hey, man, thank you guys for showing up. This has been Raider Nation, man. This is another show, breaking news, but yeah, man, like we always end it. You know what I mean? Count of three, man.
That's a great thumbnail right there, Gabe, man. That's patented right there, bro. That ain't supposed to be out there, bro. They ain't supposed to be out there, bro.
Yeah, she was cool right there.
Yeah.
That shit was woo.
Check out that thumbnail, bro.
RaiderNation Live right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, man. Hey, fucking for like I said, man. Thanks everybody, man. Hit the like button. Tell everybody to follow Raider Nation Live, Coach Gravy, Raider Gate 420, man, and everybody in Raider Nation. Right? Whether you fucking we like them or not, go follow them, whatever, man. But just know. Content right here, man. Come and get all your content right here, man.
Team Pete all the way, bro. Team Pete.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. And hey, have a great Friday. And we out, man. Like, I mean, how we ended, man. 1, 2, 3. Raiders!